Spider-Man Last Hunt premieres on January 29th only on LewisFilms. You can watch the official trailer in the description below. First, before we get into this, I want to say spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. Due to recent rumors after the release of No Way Home, there have been multiple sources claiming that TASM 3 and Spider-Man 4 with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are currently in development. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man 4 and the potential it could have of happening. So what way could Spider-Man 4 actually be happening? Now, as we do know in Spider-Man No Way Home, Tobey Maguire does eventually make his return as Peter Parker / Spider-Man, along with some of the most iconic villains from those movies. But after No Way Home, there have been multiple sources claiming that he will be getting a Spider-Man 4, which could potentially either take place before No Way Home or directly after. Now, the first piece of evidence, and something that a lot of people are referring to as evidence for a Spider-Man 4 coming out, is the fact that apparently, according to Chris McKenna, who also did co-write Spider-Man No Way Home with Eric Sommers, said, and I quote, "Tobey wanted to be very minimal about how much you know," and then going on to saying that Andrew really loved the idea of his still tortured over what happened in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and where that left him. So obviously two very different viewpoints. Andrew is very much about elaborating what happened after TASM 2, and Tobey was trying to keep very minimal about what happened after Spider-Man 3. Now, either this could be one of two things. Number one, Tobey Maguire doesn't really want Sam Raimi's vision to be affected, because we know that Tobey worked with Sam over 3 movies. They probably have a very strong relationship with each other and a lot of respect for each other over those 3 movies. You could imagine that with that character being as strong as he was by the end of the 3rd movie, and also with the 3rd movie being a very good end to the trilogy, people are saying that Tobey didn't want Sam's vision to be affected and just wanted to keep it very minimal so that anything could have happened to that Peter Parker after Spider-Man 3, so we don't really know. And the second point is that people are saying that Tobey's saying this because there might be a potential for a Spider-Man 4. Now, if you guys watched my Andrew Garfield video that I made on this situation with the hashtag #MakeTASM3 movement going all around, I said that Andrew's character in No Way Home sparked a want for a TASM 3 because from what Andrew was talking about, his character, it means there is a story to explore there with him becoming bitter and rageful after Gwen's death. That's a brilliant story to tell, but Tobey's is actually the exact polar opposite. There is not anything to go off of what happened after Spider-Man 3. Therefore, you can throw anything in there. So whether it was a prequel or whether it'll be a sequel to No Way Home, there is a story to tell with Tobey. The rest of the evidence that I have is very mismatchy. It's not very reliable, as say, but, you know, it's still evidence. There are rumors going round that apparently Spider-Man 4 is in development, and there has been for some time, all the way back in December last year. I can't really remember, but when the Tobey and Andrew rumors first started coming out about No Way Home, there was actually one rumor I remember going around saying that TASM 3 and Spider-Man 4 were actually happening. And then a couple of months back, that rumor cropped back up, and it's been all over Twitter saying that Spider-Man 4 is actually in development. Sony is deciding whether they want to make the movies again with Andrew and Tobey. So there are a lot of rumors floating up in the air, and multiple people are coming out and saying them. I wouldn't just say them if they didn't have any validity to them, because quite a lot of sources are coming out and saying this. Not everyone, but a few are coming out. But once again, take that with a grain of salt, because I don't know exactly where these are coming from. These could just be people saying that, you know, oh, they're going to get other movies because they showed up in No Way Home. But like I did say, because multiple people are saying this, it could have some validity to them. And I'm not going to lie, with the TASM situation, yeah, 100% agree. With Tobey, I'm not so sure. But if Spider-Man 4 was to happen, how would it happen? Now, obviously, the first thing that people are going to say is that it could happen in live action. Now, whether this is a prequel or a sequel would ultimately determine if it's actually a live action or not. If it's a sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home, the likelihood is it could be a live action, just because, obviously, keeping with continuity, Tobey still looks like that. And yes, he looks so much older than he did in Spider-Man 3, which is why if it was a prequel, it wouldn't really make much sense, because he still looks old, and then it's right after Spider-Man 3, wouldn't really make much sense. And then the rest of the cast are also really old as well. You know, you're bringing Kirsten Dunst back, Tobey Maguire back, Rosemary Harris back. You know, they all look a lot older than they did. So, you know, if it was a prequel and a sequel to Spider-Man 3, then it probably wouldn't work. However, if you did want to make it a prequel to Spider-Man 3, it could be an animated movie, and that could really work. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, Tobey Maguire isn't the best voice actor in the world. If you've played the Spider-Man games with Tobey Maguire in them, you'll know what I'm talking about. He's very much more of a visual actor, in my opinion. That I really like his visual aspects of the first 2 Spider-Man movies. However, if it was to come back, I reckon it most likely would come back as an animated movie, just because of how much easier that would be in comparison to trying to do a live-action movie with Tobey, Kirsten, and the rest of the cast. Plus, we've got Into the Spider-Verse now. Sony's really booting up their animated Spider-Verse movies. You know, we could be getting a Spider-Gwen movie at some point. Heck, we could get a Peter B. Parker movie. We're going to get multiple Miles sequels, obviously, across the Spider-Verse Part 1 and 2. Maybe a Miguel O'Hara movie. We're getting lots of stuff, which is Sony animated surrounding that Spider-Verse movie, that first one. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that one of their future animated Spider-Man movies could be a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4. However, like I did say at the start of the video, and like I say so many times, take all of this with a grain of salt, just because you can never really be sure. Like I have said though, the TASM 3 rumors I think have a lot more backing to them, just because of how eager Andrew is probably to, you know, rectify his time as Spider-Man and also finish off that trilogy. Everything seems to be lining up for TASM 3 to happen right now. The story, everything is there. However, with Spider-Man 4, there's not really much of a need to make it anyway, but there are rumors about it, like I did say, and I'm just reporting them here to you guys. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think there is a chance Spider-Man 4 will happen? But like I said, I think it's more likely TASM 3 would happen, and if you haven't seen my video on that, make sure to go and watch it. I'll leave a link in the description down below where we talk more about those rumors. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. If you want to, make sure to hit the bell next to the subscribe button to not miss any more Spider-Man content on the channel. That includes news, updates, fan fictions, gaming, everything to do with Spider-Man, we cover it over here. I've also started live streaming a lot more now as well, so make sure to stick around for the live streams. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.